Mark Twain has a quote. It goes like this. It's easier to fool people than it is to convince people that they're being fooled. Think about that for a second. The idea of trying to convince a person that they're actually being fooled, they're being tricked, hoodwinked. Think about it. Then think about some of the things that your family members, mom, your dad, cousins, aunt, uncle, relative, friends, someone said to you at some point in your life that you can't expect everyone to treat you like you treat them. And why not? Because they're not you. You're you, but they're not you. So you can't expect them to act as you would, do as you would, think like you think. So if you loan somebody money and you do it with all good intentions, you can't expect them to give the money back with the same good intentions. They're not you. So what you would gave somebody a shirt off your back or shoes off your feet, you can't expect them to do the same. If you're in a relationship, just because you wouldn't cheat on your partner, don't mean they wouldn't cheat on you. They're not the same person. They're not you. It's misleading when you think about that because, see, that kind of sets the tone to the rest of your life and the expectations you have, especially during an election, right? Think about it. When you're doing an election, you go stand in long lines. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it heat. Stand in long crowded lines just to vote for the party, for the person that you believe is going to make you a priority in your life. The person that made promises on TV for the last 6 months telling you how they're going to change your life. They're going to reverse unemployment. They're going to help out with the issue between the black community and the police department. They're going to pull back on taxes. They're going to create new jobs. All these things that affect us all. There's going to be changes. There's going to be ending to racism. Then these people get into office and you don't hear from them, you don't see from them no more. You feel hoodwinked. You feel like they pulled the rug over your eyes and they got over on you because you were expecting the same thing in return. But see, we go back to what our family told us. You can't expect everybody to do as you would do. They're not you. They're not you. So what do we do in that situation? Give up? Just toss our votes away, toss away our voice because, you know, that's the easier way to do it. We can get on social media and talk about how we're not voting for either one because both sides seem to be criminals. And, I mean, that's some truth there. Can't lie to you. There's truth there. I mean, you throw a rock anywhere in Washington, D.C., you're going to hit a crooked politician. It's just the way it is. And I hate to say it, but sometimes in elections you got to pick the lesser of two evils. The one that better suits the life that you're trying to live and what you're trying to accomplish. And some of us just throw a Hail Mary out there hoping that someone catches it, and actually that someone we elect actually decides to come and pay just a little bit of attention in our society, in our world, to change some of the things that affect us. Maybe they'll create a new job, pass one law that may make a difference, even though there's 99 more that need to be changed, things that affect us. What do we do in this situation, people? Should we just not go vote? Should we just hand over our power, our voice? Think about how that would feel. If you're a female, think about this for a second. You're in an abusive relationship, and a lot of you females can relate to this situation because you've been through this, and we talked about this, and we covered this on the show so many times. Just think about it. Bear with me, people. As a woman, you think about this. You're in an abusive relationship, and nobody hears your cry when you're crying out for help because you're in an abusive relationship with a man. Nobody believes you. Nobody hears what you're talking about. You're completely voiceless. Think about this. You go out for jobs and you keep getting passed up on opportunities because you're a woman. Think about it. Nobody hears you. Your voice goes from a whisper to non-existent. It's just silence. What changes in your life when someone takes away your voice? Think about it. If you're a black man and the news coverage stopped covering you being shot down the street by police, being beaten by police, all you did was break down. You didn't break a law. You got a flat tire on the highway. You called the police to help you out because you was in an unsafe situation. You didn't want to get hit by a car while you were changing your tire. Called the police just said, hey, you know, look out for me while I'm changing this tire. Next thing you know, it ended up in you being murdered in front of your whole family. Think about news outlets just silencing it. No one's speaking about it. No one covering it anymore. Nobody recognized your death. You died in complete silence. Think about your life. Think about your life, people. Think about your life as you know it, where you don't have a voice, a choice, a say over what you do in your life. What happens in your life? What happens in your world? In the next 4 years, you have no say into what's going to happen. What kind of laws are going to be passed? What type of person is representing you? Your state, your interests, your country. What do you feel like? What would it feel like if you were completely silent? you were out the loop. You think that your vote don't hold much power. You think that your vote doesn't hold much weight and that doesn't have much to it. What is it truly worth? Really, what is it worth? You hear these crazy quotes every year, vote or die, vote or else, vote or you're going to lose your life, or you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your money, and the taxes are going to be raised, and all this crazy stuff being said to scare you to death, to make you go out and vote. But then you start to realize, wait, even though the wrong person was voted in, it didn't seem as scary as it would be. But think about it. Think about if you're silent. Think about how important your vote is. Think about why there's so much meddling in an election. So many laws trying to get passed to stop you from truly letting your voice be heard. Think about the power in your voice. Think about the power in just one index finger and you pushing a button. We often look at Amazon, these large companies, and we say to them, well, the only way legislation is going to get truly changed for the interest in the black community and all communities. Only way interest is going to be changed to benefit us all, to change the issues we have in the country, is if these larger companies will bet much more money than us to come up and speak up and go to senators and let them know, like, yo, you need to change this law. Unless they make the proper introduction into these offices, go into the government, the president's office, and say, yo, you need to change these laws, nothing's going to be done. But we realize once again what happens when we become silent, when we view ourselves as silent, as mutes. We don't recognize that the true energy, true power is enlisted in us. And we don't have to wait for Amazon or a major company to come in and speak to make changes for our lifestyle. We have to do it ourselves. We have to do it. And we got to come together united to make a true change. It's time for us to stop being divided. See, it's divided, we're easily conquered. We have issues right now in the world. We have issues in our society. Racism has broken our society aside. And let me tell you something. It always exists, and that's the foundation of this country. But we'll get to that in another episode. The point is, it has become a fracture inside this country. The issue between the black community and police officers have fractured communities, fractured families, destroyed people. The drug epidemic, the crime laws, the 94 crime law, all these things have broken up families. Time is now that we make a change for it. Time is now that we disregard some of the things our parents told us, because I understand some things our parents tell us. They tell us that because they have the greater interest in mind, and they want to give us what they feel reality is. So telling us, like, yo, don't expect someone to be who you are because they're not true. It's just a way of protecting your feelings, your emotions. It's like telling you the tooth fairy still exists, or the Santa Claus is going to come for Christmas, or the Easter Bunny is going to come. It's all to protect your fragile mindset. Because it makes it easier so they don't have to tell you, like, why did this person disappoint you? Sometimes we have to live with disappointment, but other times we have to step up and fight back against disappointment. What am I trying to say about fighting back against disappointment? Let me tell you what I'm doing, people. I'm not just casting my vote. Not this year, no. I'm not just casting my vote. Yes, I go plan on voting. I know who I'm voting for. But I have a bigger plan in mind. And I suggest everybody else try to take on this bigger plan. Try to utilize this plan that I'm taking on. I've been talking to advocates. Not just in my state, but other states. People who have been in the room with senators, congressmen, mayors. They've been in with different levels of the government, talking to them, pushing for change. Change in the criminal justice system. Changes in the prison system, that allow our family members in. Fighting for change with the school system that we're dealing with, the education system. I've been talking to people and conversating with people. I've been doing my research. I'm pushing to get in the offices of government, not just to sit in the seat of government. I want to look the governor in his face, eye to eye, and I want to have a conversation. Not in front of cameras, not for the media. Not with his secretary. I want to talk to the governor. I want to have a conversation with him. I want to know, what are you going to do about the issue between the black community and the police? Now you're pandering for my vote. You putting out these videos, these ads, so spending tons of money trying to get my attention so I can go out and vote for you. Okay, now I need to know what you're going to do. After the election's over, after the inauguration's over, now I want to sit with you. I want to sit eye to eye with you, and I want you to tell me exactly what are your plans. Then I'm going to put the pressure on you because, see, I'm listening to what you're saying. Now I'm going to tell you what I think. Because, see, the difference between me and you is I actually live in the community. I know what's going on in the community. I'm not getting someone handing me a piece of paper advising me of statistics and data of what's going on in the community. I'm actually there and I know what the community needs. Less liquor stores, more community centers. Less gun and drugs, more money for education. not for testing, but true education. I know what needs to be done to improve the community. More jobs for these young people who are out here so they stay out the streets and not feel like the only way they can help provide for their family who's already living in poverty, whose mom is working 2 or 3 jobs just to pay the bills. They feel like they got to go out and hustle to make money to help provide because they're tired of seeing their parents struggle. They tired of seeing their mom going to bed hungry. So we want to talk to you, and I want you to tell me, what's your plan to help these family members who are struggling? My family is struggling. I know that y'all want to cut the food stamp program. We know y'all want to cut welfare, but what's next? Because not everybody is on welfare is truly sitting here thinking, yo, I just want, a free ride. Some people actually want to work. That check they get every once a month, them food stamps get once a month, ain't really covering what they need. Their bills are higher. And I'm talking about the necessities. I ain't talking about the ones, I'm talking about the necessities. The electric bill. Everybody needs a phone. Internet. We got kids doing online learning. They need things. Keeping food in their tummy, in their refrigerator, so they're not going to bed hungry, going to school, not being able to focus because they're hungry. I am planning on going to sit into the front of the senators, governors, congresspeople. I have already sat in front of quite a few. I want to ask them, like, yo, so what's the plan? Yeah, we still dealing with COVID-19, but okay, we understand it's still surging, but you telling us wear a mask, that's cool, but what else is going to be done about it? What else are you going to do about it? Because you're pandering for my vote. You're sitting here telling me why I shouldn't vote for the other person, but I need to know what you're going to do for me. I heard the promises you're going to make, but now that you are in office, now that I voted for you, now I want you to hear me out. Because see, that's where we make a mistake at when we vote, people. See, it's like when we deal with the issue where our moms tell us, like, yo, man, everybody's not like you. See, the problem with that is it's not everybody's not like us. We don't hold people responsible. Think about it. That's the reality. See, that person kept that energy when they came and asked to borrow money, and even though you came and you loaned them that $100, that $200-$300 to pay their bill, and you did it with the kindness of your heart, an upbeat attitude. When it came time to pay them back, pay you back, yo, they nowhere to be found. That same energy is not kept. They're complaining and arguing with you of why you chasing them down to get this little measly $200-$300. But was it measly $200-$300 when you was asking for it? I need my money back like you need it. I got bills like you. So the problem is we then say, you know what, all right, well, my mom always told me, people not going to treat me like I'm going to treat them. They're not me, so I can't expect them to come back and pay me because I will repay you easily, but I can't expect you to do it because you're not me. No, damn that. I need to keep the same energy you kept when I gave it to me, and you need to keep the same energy when you borrowed it. I need mine back, and I'm holding you to that. You told me you was going to pay me back on the 3rd. I'm at your door on the 3rd. We need to treat our elected officials the same darn way. November 3rd, you had me voting. November 6th, I'm on your door like, yo, what's up? What's up? I need that payback for that vote because you promised me that you was going to pass some laws to protect black people. If I get pulled over or if I have to call the police because I got a flat tire, I want to drive away after my flat tire is fixed with my health, with my life intact, without a bullet in my back. Not being shot, my kids not being traumatized, my wife not being traumatized or figuring out how she's going to bury me. I need that insurance, and I need you to make that insurance because that's what you promised me. I need my interactions with police to be positive. I need to know that a police officer is there to protect and to serve and not just hunt and kill black people. I need you to sit here and get these racist people and you get the people on the other side and you put people together and like, yo, let me sit you in the same room. Let me show you how much y'all are alike. How much further we can go by supporting each other. I'm going to stop fracturing broken homes. I'm going to start to put drugs and repeal some of the 94 drug bill that has broken up families. What am I going to do about schools? What are you going to do? What you got for me? We know there's standardized testing, but we also know what it's doing to our children. We spoke about it. It's destroying our children's confidence, their creativity. It's stressing our children out, and you wonder why they're acting up in school? Hell, I'll be stressed out too. If every day or every other day I'm sitting here taking a test at work, I'll be stressed out too, jumping off walls. But what are you going to do about it, people? Get up in those offices, get up in their face. And some of you probably like, look, I ain't got time to keep trying to go up to City Hall or go to the governor's office or go into DC to go talk to my senator. I don't got time to pick up the phone call. Well, guess what? We all write text, we all write Facebook posts, we all tweet, Instagram, and all that. So get on your phone and type up a letter and send an email. And then send another one. And then send another one, and send another one until they get tired of you and have to pick up that phone or have to respond back to you, like let you know. And then when they respond back to you, because they're going to hit you with that generic little letter, telling you, yeah, we know your interest, we read your letters, yeah, we're going to work on this, we're going to try to figure this out, we're going to pass this on. Nope. I'm going to send you another letter. I'm going to send you another letter until that generic letter starts to come to one of change. When you write me back, until you write me back and let me know, like, yo, change is being made, is going to be put into law to affect your schools, affect your community, to get rid of liquor stores and put together some community centers in there, to create job opportunities for our young adults, create better paying jobs for our parents who need this money to get us out of poverty. We need this in the office. And when they write you that letter, you're like, okay, cool. But now I need to send you some more letters. Why I need to send you some more letters? Because, see, I haven't seen it change yet. I'm not really one for words on paper too much. I'm more one for actions, because actions speak louder than words any day. So now I need to see actions. And until I see your actions, I'm going to keep bothering you. I'm going to keep bugging you. I'm going to stay in your face because I gave you what you asked for. You were pandering for my vote. I gave you that vote. You had people calling me. You had people texting me, asking me, who are you going to vote for? What can I do to get you to vote for me? You got every channel I'm watching. I'm sitting here watching Hocus Pocus on 6 ABC, and right, the commercial is you talking about the other person on the other side and why I shouldn't vote for them, how there's a big threat to my life, and how you're the next coming of Jesus Christ and the Savior to come save my life. So now that I know that you're Jesus Christ and you're the new Savior to save my life, now I'm going to hold you to that. I need that. I need all of that. Now, I don't want to hear no broken promises. And see, what had happened was I was going to do it, but Senate is not really trying to pass it. No, I need you to do whatever you need to do to push that law through, because you made me promises and I'm holding you to it. Keep that same energy when you were sitting here pandering for my vote till it's time to pass the laws that you promised. Because, see, you were standing on stage getting people all hyped up, telling them what you're going to do. Now it's time. Now it's time to cash in on what you promised. Now it's time for us to cash in on our voices and not let it be taken away. See, people will try to convince you that your vote don't matter, but see, that's the same people that's trying to convince you that your voice don't have power. And see, as Mark Twain said, it's easier to fool a person to convince a person being fooled. So see, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince the people who already bought into, drunk the Kool-Aid that Donald Trump has already fed them. Because you know why? They already drunk the Kool-Aid. You already drunk it. Well, the COVID-19 is not real. The election is rigged unless he wins. You already drunk the Kool-Aid. You drunk the Kool-Aid. Everything he already told you or heard. I'm not here to try to convince the people who already made the decision that they're not going to vote and get on Facebook and start writing letters and keep posting memes and stuff about why they're not going to vote because the Democratic Party's not for them, the Republican Party's not for them. So I'm just going to sit out and not say nothing. But I'm going to complain about everything. I'm not trying to convince them. You know why I'm not trying to convince them people? Because there is no point. They drunk the Kool-Aid. They already drunk it. So there's nothing I'm going to sit here and say to them right now that's going to convince them. They already gave up. It's difficult to help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. I can't convince someone to drink the water once I lead you to the river. You have to make that conscious decision. I can sit here all day and tell you, like, yo, man, your ancestors, they died, you know, for you to have the right to vote. And I can talk about the women's suffrage movement, but I already did an episode on that. I can sit here and talk about the civil rights movement, how long it took us to vote. I can sit here and tell you about all the history of voting and yada, yada, yada. But the truth is, none of that means nothing to you, because right now, you're in the present, not in the past. You're in the present. And right now in the present, you're focused on the things that are affecting you. What are those things? Well, unemployment. Of course, COVID-19 is top for those who actually believe COVID-19 exists. You think about immigration. You think about healthcare and your concerns about that. You have real concerns about the black community and the fracture between the police department. You're concerned about systematic racism and the effect it have on your children. The fact that you got to go home and you got to talk to your 6-year-old, your 11-year-old like me, about racism, about interacting with the police officers, what to do and what not to do, how to survive. We here worry about human trafficking. Man, we got a lot to worry about, people. We worry about the future of our jobs, the history of our jobs. We worry about going to war with China, Russia. There's so many things we worry about, so many things we're concerned about. But so many of us are willing to write this off as just conspiracy theories presented just to distract us from the realities of our lives. I had conversations with quite a few Caucasian people who are close friends of mine. And surprisingly, yes, I do have Caucasian people that are friends. Yes, I do. And they're all older people. And one of the conversations after one of my episodes, they said, you know, I'm starting to believe that there really is an issue between the police and the black community, but I don't want to believe that the police officers are really killing black people. Because, and this is not to say that this person that told me this is negative, racist. It's not to say that they're really oblivious to what's going on, because truth is, a lot of times the media do pump things up, and a lot of times the media do try to push things on us and push things in front of our face to make us believe and to see it. But in some cases, the boogeyman might just be real. I know sometimes our kids call us in their room and they see the monster in the closet or somebody's under their bed, and after a while we stop believing them. We stop even getting out of bed to check. But that one time you don't check is the one time there really was someone in their children's closet, hiding in your closet. One time someone's under your children's bed. The reality is there is an issue between the police department and the black community. This is a real thing. As a black person, I am afraid to go out at certain times of night, not because I'm worried about another person robbing me or stealing me or trying to take my possessions, but I'm more concerned about what happens if a police officer sees me driving a nice car in a nice neighborhood, decides that, you know what, you're not supposed to have this, and you're not supposed to be there, then get a little itchy on the trigger finger, and then I don't make it back home to my family. What's going to happen to my wife? What's going to happen to my kids? Who's going to raise them? Who's going to raise my kids? Who's going to take care of my wife? Sometimes I got to make decisions that's better for my children and my family, and sometimes I got to just sit my butt still and not even go anywhere because I don't truly know how to protect them from this issue against one of the biggest gangs in American history, the police department. Then we look at elections and we think about who's president right now. We think about how he pushes systematic racism, how he, even though he's asked multiple times, if you lose, would you just hand over the presidency peacefully? He's like, no. He's telling all his white supremacists and all these hate groups, like, yo, stay in guard. Be prepared, because if this don't go the way I want it to, we might have to raise some hell out here. And it makes you wonder, like, yo, this is the world I live into. Like, 2020 wasn't bad enough. I mean, come on, it wasn't bad enough. We lost a lot of people. Lost a lot of people to gun violence, COVID-19. This isn't time to release ourselves from this person. I want y'all to think about something. For all y'all don't want to vote, don't think y'all gonna vote. Remember when y'all had that same energy when y'all wanted Trump to be impeached? Remember that? Y'all was hoping that Congress had impeached him, then y'all was hoping that Senate impeached him, and everybody was getting hype, posts and stuff. Well, you keep that same energy when you go out and vote, because see, this is your opportunity to impeach him. If you truly want him out of office, here's your opportunity to impeach him, to get him out of office, to truly make a change. If you truly stand against racism, white supremacy, then truly show it. If you're tired of this country being fractured, show it. Get out there and vote. You got the power right now to impeach him. Don't let no one convince you that your vote don't matter. I hate to say it, but you know, sometimes this is something you may never hear me say again. Sometimes you gotta go with the lesser of two evils. And I'm not sitting here telling you that Joe Biden is some type of angel, because he's not. 94 crime bill, we know what that did. We know some of the things he said. I'm not sitting here telling you he's going to be your saving grace, because truthfully, there is no such thing. The truth is, the only saving grace is you. You're the saving grace. You are the saving grace, not just because you're going out and vote, but because what you're going to do after you vote. When you go out here and you press these politicians, these senators, these governors, these mayors, to actually make true change in your community, to hold to the promises that they truly made to you, that they truly heal this country the way it needs to be, that they dig up the foundation of this country that's built on racism, hatred, bigotry, and you remove all that and you plant some new seeds of unity, peace, joy, happiness, togetherness. Until this happens, we can't expect things to change, but we have to be the ones who look at ourselves in the mirror, look ourselves in the eyes and say this: we can't look for someone else to be our saving grace. We have to do it. We got to start writing letters. I mean, we keep complaining about time, but we got time to tweet. We got time to Facebook. We got time to Instagram. We got time to post these memes and create these memes. We got time to type up a letter. They got spell check. It don't got to be perfect. But you have to make your point known, because let's be honest. When we talk about the black community, and a lot of times people want to talk about all the killing in the black community. Let's be honest. It is. We have an issue when we talk about Black Lives Matter. We have an issue where black people are killing black people at an alarming rate. We're killing people that look just like us. And we need to make a change. We need changes in the black community. But what changes is truly going to affect it? I mean, of course, we can march and we can protest, and I will never step against that. Greatest form of protesting is getting out there, letting people know your voice be heard, letting these congressmen know, letting your voice be spoken, not just during election, but get out there and protest. But the point is, we also need end the poverty in the community. Because see, as long as we have poverty, we're going to have black people, we're going to have violence in neighborhoods. We have to build a better school, because as long as we have these bad public schools with these standardized testing, no true education, then we're going to continue to have poverty in the community, because you're not truly teaching these children how to have an effective job. These kids are not being prepared to go to college and be successful at college. What they're being prepared for is a farming system that's going to prepare them to drop out of school. So we need a better school system. We need to get liquor stores off every corner and turn some liquor stores into actually community centers. So some of these kids have a place to go after school. When their parents are off working, trying to work their second job, have somewhere productive where their kids can go. Sports leagues that don't cost a bunch of money to give these kids something to do other than hanging out in the streets. We need summer jobs and jobs for our youth. We got 16 years old, 14, 15-year-olds who are running around trying to sell drugs because they just trying to help their parents out. Their parents can't give them no new Jordans. They can't give them no True Religion jeans. And we need money so they can do these things. Their parents can't buy them, so they want money. They want to go to school with the new Jordans. Peer pressure is a mother. And if you've been in school, and don't act like as adults y'all don't know this, because some of y'all go to work and y'all go to church, y'all got to put y'all new hat on and all that. And if y'all don't have it, you know how people look at you. So imagine how people look at our kids in school. So they want those True Religion jeans. They want those new Jordans, and some of their parents can't afford it. So then they go to the streets, and and sell drugs, and that turns into a very violent business. So we need jobs for these children, this youth, so that it can change the way they look at themselves, the way they feel about themselves. We need positive role models, showing them there's a way out of the community. See, a lot of us, we get out of the community, we drive nice cars, then we never go back to even visit or get back to it. Told you, I got some changes to make. After this election, I got some things I need to do. I got to put some of my actions to life and not just to words. But we all do. And we got to go back to these communities and show these kids there is a way out. Show them a door. Not close and lock the door behind us because we don't want no one to get out. Keep that door open and show other people how to get out. We need to write letters. We need to stand up for our children. For the people who are in prison right now, you got relatives and loved ones, sons, daughters in prison right now. Stand up for their rights, because like I said, COVID-19 is big right now, and in prisons, it's sitting there, it's taking on a whole new, bigger issue, because in prisons, these people are not treated right. They're getting affected by COVID-19. They're not getting the same medical benefits you have. You got children out here who are not getting the proper benefits they need unless they have a criminal record or they break the law or do something wrong in school. Then they try to help them instead of helping them before. We need to start writing letters to these politicians. I'm not just talking about the president. I'm not just talking about the senator. I'm not talking about the Congress. I'm talking about governor. I'm talking about mayor. We're talking about the superintendent of the school districts. We need to talk about anybody who's in position to make true changes. We can't wait for a big organization to come make changes for us. They don't have our interest in mind. They have their interest in mind. So we have to do the same thing they do. We have to come together as a community. Learn that divided, we're easily weakened and conquered, and come together as unity because we're stronger that way. We need to let our voice be heard. November 3rd will be here before you know it. Some of you will listen to this after November 3rd. But all the people who listen to us after November 3rd, no concern, no worry. You still can do something. Write letters, email, call your Congress, senator, mayor, governor. Yo, get in their face, talk to them. Let them know, yo, I'm here. I was here when you was up there running for election. I was here voting for you, and I'm here after, and I'm looking for the changes that you got to make them. I'm holding you to it. This year is the year I had enough, and we're going to make some changes. We're going to make a difference, and guess what? I'm going to be in your face until you do it, just like you are with that person who owe you money. Trust me, people. They think that's easy to fool you to convince you that you're being fooled. But it's time for us to show them who the hell the fool is. We ain't the fools. You ain't the fools. And you're going to show them by making a difference. Get out there and vote on November 3rd. If you're not down with Trump and you're tired of Trump's nonsense, his antics, the racism, the radical racism that is shown, you need to get out here and vote for Biden. But you need to hold Biden and anybody else you vote for to a higher standard. Make sure that they represent your interests, that they're really worried about healing the community that you live in and healing your family, pulling you up out of poverty, pulling this country up out of poverty, bringing us together and making us united. That's the true American way. That's what America, the direction America needs to go into. I'm Alan the Great. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Past the President Podcast. As always, hit me up on Facebook, Past President, Instagram, Alan the Great. Hit me up on YouTube, Henry's House Media Productions. Comment under the video. Smash the like button, people. Smash the like button. As a matter of fact, don't even worry about the like button this week. Don't worry about it. Smash that vote button, people. Get out there and smash that vote button. Punch that vote button like you're punching the clock. Chase after these politicians like you're chasing the bag. Let's chase difference. Let's be a part of making a difference. Let's no longer be part of the problem. Let's be part of the solution. We're going to change America to be better for us all. I want to thank you for joining. Until next time I see you, people, I only got one thing left to say to you. Stay tuned. Peace.